At 135 pounds, Abdullah Mason, the youngest champion in the sport of boxing, may have the highest potential in the entire sport. William Zepeda looked brilliant in his last outing against Lamont Roach Jr. New and improved, some would say. Then there's Gervonta Tank Davis. If he comes back, that shakes everything up at 135. And then you got a couple other figures looming around. Floyd Schofield, Shakur Stevenson, even still saying that he's campaigning at 140 and 135. Who's going to take over that division? And for the main event today on the live stream, should Jaron Boots Ennis say the magic words to get Terence Bud Crawford to come out of retirement? Welcome to Classic Code Sports. Let's get it.
Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it in the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? You believed in me the whole time, for real? Yeah. I couldn't tell. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something. But watching my story, y'all winning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't call? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Put that on my soul. Oh no. They ain't hungry no more when it's time to eat crow. Or farming, I'm a hand to my glow. Ain't gon' argue with you about what I know. Photo album, all I'm seeing is ghosts. Had to remodel from pillar to post. Said what I said, I ain't come here to argue. You said congratulations, should've said sorry. Got it, now you won't be part of the party. Your access denied, I'm sorry, not sorry. When I needed air, niggas wouldn't afford it. Now they pulling up and thinking we solid. Now I'm on the phone talking $1 million topics. Up early, Zoom call out to Abu Dhabi. Don't answer my phone if it's gonna be about gossip. I don't really care, everybody got problems. That's why I be sharing my woes, letting y'all know it's okay, you can come up from the bottom. Scraping, scratching, clawing. Before I start running, I started with crawling. Before I got balance, I started with falling. Started with broke before I ever was balling. Started with hope before ever reward. They ain't show up till I became important. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times, couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Been watching my story, y'all winning. Why you ain't say nothing?
Remember this day. Remember this day.
Classic. 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 I'm only gonna do this once.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance, standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I get it. Boy, I'm made different. I work too hard. Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different. This from the dirt, this from the mud. You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me.
Let's go.
You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. I'm skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with real life. I seen a couple people trying, it ain't in pretty. I only keep the people around that stood on 10 with me. And if they start to stand on 9, that's where it end with me. It can end quickly. In the way I level up, I make them spin differently. I should start a foundation, they be make-a-wishing me. I got these hoes in the fringe, they can't seem to get to me. Babe, I done mastered discipline. It take more than booty cheeks. Need a little more conversation, cause I still be trying to see. I be listening with my eyes, yeah, I still be trying to see. I be moving like the prize, you can't find another me. Let's get focused, want the fruits of your labor, got climb the tree. Yeah, I'm out here planting seeds, cause I got a lot to leave. I be putting in long miles, I ain't gotta stop to breathe. I
Let's go.
Oh, nigga, you know what's up. We cut the style. Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different. This from the dirt, this from the mud. You ain't slave with me. This is strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come here with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side eye. A couple people trying, it ain't in pretty. I only keep the people around that stood on 10 with me. And if they start to stand on 9, that's where it end with me.
It ain't even about being a real dude or a fake dude or I'm me.
Classic.
Yo, it's Classic with Classic Code Sports, and I got a great live stream for y'all, man. Let me get the roll call out the way so we can get on with our day. Big Skull member in the building. What's going on? Tapping in from the Classic Codes. I need you to slide over to Classic Code Sports for me, Big Skull, and make sure that you jump in the chat over there. Got to give you a wrench on that side as well. Make sure y'all tap in from Classic Code Sports. We're trying to get the watch hours and the subs up on the sports channel. It is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Tap in at Classic Code Sports. I know some of y'all are watching from my main page. Slide over to the sports page where we exclusively have the sports content. JDLS said, I love this song. I appreciate you. TCP said, Bud is coming back for Boots. Boots said Bud was easy work. That is why Bud is back in the gym. I hear you. I hear you. That's the main event for the day. We got to start off with the undercard or the co-main, actually. You a little bit ahead of us, TCP. Buckle up, man. Buckle up. Super Mac, what's going on with it? How you feeling? How you feeling? Everybody that's here, knock out the free stuff for me. Hit like, hit subscribe, tap in.
Hey, y'all. Hit the like and subscribe button while you're here. Classic really appreciates it.
Let's get into the show. So our first piece of conversation that we are going to have this afternoon, I should say, we're going to talk about the 135-pound division. I see that my lens is clear. I am back. I am back in 4K. You know what I'm saying, for my audience. So I'm happy about that. But we're going to talk about the 135-pound division. Who will emerge as the king of the division? There's a few different things that we have to consider before we actually say who we think is going to emerge as the king of the 135-pound division. The first thing that we have to consider is who is at 135 pounds and how long will they be there? I think that's the absolute first thing that we have to discuss. Who's at 135 and how long will they be there? I think that Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin at 135 pounds, he stands to stay at the weight class for a little while longer. He's young. He's not a really tall guy. He does have a muscular frame, but he probably could still cut the weight for another year or two if he so chooses. He seems to be a very disciplined guy, always in the gym, and I would imagine that his nutrition is somewhat up to par. So who Kid Austin may be there for a while. That's Floyd Schofield. For those who don't know who Kid Austin is, that's Floyd Schofield. Also at 135 pounds, you have the youngest champion in boxing, Abdullah Mason. Also at 135 pounds, or who was campaigning at 135 last time we saw him, you have Gervonta Tank Davis. You have William Zepeda, whose fight we just called against Lamont Roach Jr. If you didn't catch my live fight call, go back to the Classic Code Sports and check that out live under the live streams. But William Zepeda looked new and improved and looked like he got better from his loss to Shakur Stevenson as he won clearly against Lamont Roach Jr. These guys are all at 135 pounds. Now, we did have Raymond Mortaya, but he has confessed that he is moving up in weight, and so he's no longer a part of this conversation since he's going up to 140 pounds. I do believe that did Andy Cruz move up to 140 pounds, or is he still at 135? I believe Andy Cruz may still be at 135. Let's see. 135-pound boxing top fighters. Let's just get a comprehensive list of who all's there. I think the top four have been named, though. You got William Zepeda, and then also the dark horse, who I would consider a dark horse, is Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, Mr. You know, I'm really a small guy. I'm too small for him. Mr. Shakur Stevenson has said that he will campaign at 140 and 135. So we will see if he holds true. We know that, somebody who contradicts themselves as much as Shakur has taken them at their word does become difficult at some point in time. And so he said he's going to be, or that he still can campaign between 135 and 140. but it remains to be seen if he takes a fight at 135 pounds. I believe a fight against Zepeda is one that he already had the Zepeda fight, so there's no need for him to go back to 135 to fight Zepeda again. Lamont Roach just lost to Zepeda, so that fight is dead. Unless he's going to go down there for O'Shaquie Foster, which he expressed disinterest in. Unless he's going to go down there for Abdullah, which he said he thinks Abdullah is too young. But if Abdullah doesn't think he's too young, then why not do it, right? And then who else could he go down there for? The only other real fights for him to go down there for is Gervonta Tank Davis. And we don't know when we'll see his return. And we also don't know if Tank Davis is at all interested in fighting Shakur Stevenson.
Classic.
It's something that's something that we just simply do not know. So I'm going to say this, my take on it. Let me go to the chat a little bit before I give y'all my take. Let me see what y'all, if anybody weighed in. Too Tight, who you think taking over the 135 division? What up, Too Tight? Banger Wolf said, oh, my bad. You all good? He said, I hope Bud and Boots never fight. Let Bud ride off into the sunset. Okay, y'all a little early on the main event, but I get it. It's a hot topic. Time said, Classic Co's my brother, the fight expert. Do you think Boots should call out Bud? We're going to talk about it. That's the main event for the day, y'all. I need y'all to rock with me on the co-main. We talking about the 135-pound division right now. Banger Wolf said that fight call was really good, very talented at color commentary and fight analysis, little bro. I appreciate that. Gratitude. Working on getting better. To be honest with you, I think that fight call might have been that might have made my 5th fight call ever. That's probably a handful. I probably called about a handful of fights at this point in my life. So maybe 5 fights. That was probably my 5th one, 4th or 5th one. So still got room to get better, I'm sure. But, reps. But I appreciate it already. If I'm already solid, imagine what we're going to look like in a couple years, right? Rashid said Shakur versus Tank in January for the WBA Super Champion. You calling that? You know some inside information, or are you predicting it? Where's this? I mean, it's a statement, but where's the statement coming from? Help me out. Into Deep said that's my 5th called fight. Yep. So I've called a handful of fights exactly so far. So yeah, man, everybody seems to be enjoying it, and I enjoy doing it. Too Tight said I got money on Abdullah. He a dog and he's still developing. Well, that's a perfect segue. We're not going to stay on this topic too long because it's clear that you guys want to talk about the main event, and so we will. Before our co-main, I'll say this. I do believe that if I had to pick somebody to take over the 135-pound division right now in boxing, I'll say it's Abdullah. For a myriad of different reasons. Abdullah has excessively long reach for the weight class. He has a 74-inch reach. So excessively long reach for the weight class. Even though he's probably draining himself a bit more than he has to, and he hasn't probably fully come into his grown man strength yet, he still punches plenty hard for the weight class. He's very relentless, and I think that he could, I'm not saying this definitively, but Abdullah Mason could potentially have the highest ceiling of potential in boxing. And so that's a very scary, dangerous thing. The only thing about Abdullah is he's very aggressive offensively, much like a Jaron Boots Ennis. But where does that get you as you continue to step up in level of competition, being hit flush, being hit clean, like he was against Sam Noakes when he went and got his championship? That's something that he's going to have to definitely clean up. Even Albert Bell. Albert Bell was landing some nice shots. He just is a man who's devoid of real, serious, fight-altering power with 1 or 2 shots. When Abdullah moves up in class, when he fights a Tank Davis, when he fights a Shakur Stevenson, when he fights a Keyshawn Davis, when he fights a Frank Martin, these guys who are really punching, guys who have a bit more experience at certain levels, and guys who are a little more naturally filled out than he is. How does his game develop? How does he hold up physically? All of those things remain to be seen by Abdullah Mason, but Abdullah is excessively durable. He has excessively long reach, and then he has a real killer instinct. And I think one thing about most fighters, and I'll say that this has been true probably since before this era, most fighters ain't trying to fight. Most fighters prefer to box. Most fighters. I remember hearing Errol Spence Jr. say that. He said that when he turned pro, he learned something once he turned pro that carried him through most of his career. I don't remember where Errol said it, but I remember hearing him say it. He said most MFers don't want to fight. Like, they don't really want to fight. They want to get in the ring and box with you, stay behind the jab, you know, work, step over, maybe get in close either, rip, catch, get back on the, but they don't want to just bang out. They're not trying to like have a super tough night with you. And if you're willing to go in there on some, I know it's going to be a tough night, but my primary concern is giving this person a tough night, much like a Boots Ennis, much like a prime Errol Spence Jr. in his prime, much like the offensive-minded Roy Jones Jr. These guys was coming to inflict damage and punishment first things first, and they would put themselves in some harm's way to do so. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking Abdullah because he has that same bite down, that same edge to go along with his skills, to go along with his tight-knit corner, to go along with his constant efforts towards improvement. I think that Abdullah has the most upside. And if somebody's going to try to get him while he's at 135, I think it has to be either Tank or Shakur. And I think it needs to be right now. It would need to be within the next probably 135. I'm going to say, because Abdullah could probably move up to 40 now. But I would say if they're going to try to get Abdullah while he at 135 and catch him early before he develops some more, I would say it would have to be Shakur right now and possibly Tank. But I don't know that Tank could stop Abdullah. He punched plenty hard. Abdullah's been dropped by a lesser fighter, but Tank a real small guy. Abdullah, again, excessive reach for the weight class. And if he can keep Tank at bay with the jab, and when Tank does slide in like he's going to absolutely have to, Abdullah has real power in his left hand. Fighting out of that southpaw stance, he has real power in his left hand. And he could, Abdullah, I could see him putting Tank behind his jab and keeping him apprehensive all night, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I'm taking Abdullah Mason to take over 135 pounds. And the beautiful thing, before we get off this subject, the most beautiful thing is that we should expect Abdullah Mason versus William Zepeda sooner than later. And I think that's absolutely amazing. Classic. Chat. I appreciate you, VR highlight reels. 10 jewels sent through. I appreciate you. Gratitude. But yeah, man, y'all catch this on the rewatch. Let me know what y'all think about it. Who will take over the 135-pound division in boxing? Will it be Tank Davis as he comes back? Will it be Shakur going back down to 135 and trying to establish dominance? Will it be William Zepeda? Has his time arrived after going in the gym and doing the work to become a better fighter? Or will it be the youngest champion in boxing right now, Abdullah Mason? Let me know what y'all think on the rewatch. Let's move. All right, let's get into that main event, man. Let's get into that main event. Terence Bud Crawford stated that if Boots wants to fight him, tell Boots to say, I will knock Terence Crawford out. If Terence Crawford come out of retirement, I will knock him out. Tell him to say that and see what happened. Well, Boots was asked about Terence Crawford, and he alluded to the fact that Terence Crawford would be easy work for him, along with a list of other fighters that was presented to him that he said would be easy work for him. But is that enough to bring Terence out of retirement? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Terence Bud Crawford said very specifically the actual script that Boots Ennis needs to say to summon his presence from out of retirement. My question to y'all is, should Boots say the magic words? Classic. I want to talk about it. We're here now. Should Boots say the magic words? Tell me, chat. Should Boots say, I will knock Terence Bud Crawford out? He need to stay retired, because if he come out of retirement, I'm going to put him back in retirement. Does Boots need to say the magic words? Why or why not? I want to know what somebody in the chat thinks before I give my take on it. I have my ideas. Candy Cane, what's going on? She said, classic piece. What's going on with you? It seems to be that my internet is clear, Candy, so I will be in touch with you shortly after this stream. This stream won't even be an hour long. We're going to talk about this final topic, and then I got some things to prep. So, yeah, we probably are going to do Queen Codes tonight, chat. For those of y'all that miss Queen Codes, I have to get in touch with some of the ladies, though. We're going to see. CCL Big Skull said, yes, he should definitely call him out. Jordan, what up, Bug? He said Boots should leave Terence Crawford retired and focus on the active fighters in his division. We split, chat. We split. DT Funk said, man, tell that Jigger to say he will KO Bud. Uh-oh. We split, chat. Ken Smith, tapping in from Greece. Are you where we at right now? Big Ken in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Greece. Where we at
International.
Right now? What we tapping in at from? What we tapping in from right now? In Too Deep said if Boots wanted really, if Boots really wanted it, he would have. Tapping in from Greece. See, I knew it was somewhere crazy. You know what I'm saying? Tapping in from Greece. Big Sco said, what's good, Ken? So listen, everybody in the chat that can type and that knows who these fighters are, because I know there's some people who come to this platform to learn things about boxing, and I'm grateful for that, right? I'm grateful to be an information provider, and I appreciate you finding me to be credible. But Boots was told very specific instructions by Terence Bud Crawford. He said if Boots want to fight, this was post-retirement Bud saying this. This is already retired Bud Crawford saying this. I will play the video, but why look it up? We all heard it. Terence said if Boots wants to fight, tell him to say that he will knock Bud Crawford out. He actually said to tell him to say it after his last fight. After the fight that Boots just won against Xander Zayas, he said it prior to that fight. He said if he win, tell him to call me out after the fight. Tell him to say that he will knock Bud Crawford out. He said tell him to say it. Boots didn't say it. When Bud was brought up at the post-fight press conference, Boots and Bozy was like, he retired, man. We ain't worried about no retired fighters, this, that, and the third. But listen to me. Listen to me. I have a serious question. Who, right now, put everybody in play? Bud Crawford is in play. Who is Jaron Boots Ennis' biggest payday right now for his next fight? Who is Jaron Boots Ennis' absolute biggest payday? Guaranteed right now for his next fight. Is it Fondora? Is it Virgil? Is it Virgil? Is it Fondora? Is it Crawford? Who is Boots' next biggest payday? Ooh, somebody said Boots don't want the smoke. Uh-oh. He said the little pup Boots don't want the smoke, bro. Oh, they talking shit. They said Boots don't want that for real. Jordan said, Bud just being a bully at this point. LOL. We all know Bud will send Boots upstairs. Does Boots know that? It's Bud, isn't it? I think it's Bud. I don't think Boots has another option to get a bigger payday than Bud unless he fights Devin Haney. It's Bud or Devin Haney. I don't know who garners more money, but I would if I had to bet on it, I would bet Bud just because of the storyline, just because of the parallels, just because Bud left the game on top. Boots is emerging, and Boots looks like the boogeyman. He looks so scary to so many people. Bud seems to be the guy who possesses the skill set to nullify or neutralize or match Boots with everything that he brings to the table as well. And so I think because of that, his highest paid fights for Boots Ennis right now, if we put everybody in play in order, the top 3 highest paydays Boots could get right now, if we put everybody in play, it goes at number 3, probably Virgil. Number 2, Devin Haney. Number 1 is Bud. The absolute biggest one-night payday. Well, it's not a one-night payday, right? Because you gotta fight for your life in training camp, right? But the single fight payday, the largest single fight payday that Boots has at his disposal right now, and time is of the essence, because we are talking about a 38-year-old man, right? Time is of the absolute essence. But if he wants to cash out or cash in, rather, right? The biggest money he could get would be if he goes on YSM, shout out to YSM. If he goes on Greg Hackett Boxing, shout out to GHB TV. If he goes on Champ Side, shout out to Champ Side, one of these major platforms, and he says, listen, I know a lot of people going to say, well, he did call him easy work. That's enough. Somebody else asked about Bud, and he responded with 2 words, easy work. And the question was, I'm going to name some fighters. You either say easy work or something else. And he said easy work for the whole list of fighters. That ain't the same. Listen to me, chat. That's not the same. If Boots want this bread and the glory, it's the money and the glory. It's the money and the glory, chat. Don't leave the glory out. We're not talking about him getting a Jake Paul fight. We ain't talking about no gimmick money. We talking about the money and the glory. Boots is favored against everybody. He beat Bud Crawford. For the rest of going forward, he's favored against everybody. Boots beat Bud Crawford. He's the new Roy Jones. Flat out. I know they already paralleling him, but he beat Bud. It ain't no nothing else to talk about. He moves up to number 1 on the no documented duck list. He skips Devin, skips Benavidez. He probably moves up the top 5 pound for pound, if not number 1 pound for pound. You understand what I'm saying? Bud come out of retirement. We're going to put him right back at number 1 pound for pound. Boots beat Bud. He got to go top 5. We take a little something off of it for Bud being a little older, but he still got to go top 5. So if you get the money and the glory, why not say the magic words? Why not say the magic words? See, I like Boots, but y'all gonna call me a hater for what I say next. I think Boots has confidence issues. Yup, call me a hater, say it. I've been said it though, so this ain't my first time saying it. I do. I look at the way Boots move. I look at some of the fights he opted into and opted out of, and I don't really love the reasoning. I think he's a very confident fighter. I think he's a highly confident fighter. But I think that Terence Bud Crawford gives him a little pause.
Classic.
I think Terence Bud Crawford makes him think, just 1.5 times more than the rest of these ninjas.
Classic.
Absolutely. That's how I feel. I could be 1,000,000% wrong. I could be 1,000,000% wrong, but I have to make it make sense for y'all. This is why I feel this way. Not because I hate Boots. I love Boots' fighting style. I think he's amazing. But I pay attention to how people move. I pay attention to what you do and not just what you say. I think at a point in time in Boots' career at 147 pounds, he wanted whatever with whomever. I think since he's made a couple of different contract moves, promoter moves, I think that he's had conversations with different types of business people. And I think he looks at the game from a different lens now, which is why the Virgil fight is at his fingertips and it's not the top of his priorities, chat. Again, the money and the glory, not just the belts. Boots, like, it ain't all about the money. I want to go chase belts. You can chase belts for the rest of your career, Boots. But the window to get Bud Crawford out of retirement, that's a small, tight window. And that might be the biggest bag you can collect during your professional career. It might be for one night of boxing. It might be the biggest bag you can get in your career. So if he doesn't have confidence issues, this is just me driving home my point. If he doesn't have confidence issues, why not say the magic words, get the money and the glory? And then from there, right? If you truly believe you could beat Bud, and if you pull it off, you get the cash out of a lifetime and of your career so far. You get moved top 5 pound for pound instantly. And there isn't a fighter that you can fight that's breathing that you won't be the A side of the negotiation after that. You beat Bud Crawford, especially if you do it convincingly, you're the A side in the Haney fight. Haney coming up to your weight class. You're a champion at your weight class, and you just beat the number 1 pound for pound fighter on everybody's list in Terence Bud Crawford, who just beat Canelo and just dominated Errol Spence, essentially damn near back to back. So damn near, right? We had a little sprinkles in there in between, but so you get that no, there was no sprinkle between. It was Spence and then it was Canelo, right? It was somebody before Spence. Okay. I'm just trying to remember Bud's resume properly. But regardless of that, you beat Terence Crawford convincingly. Let's say unanimous decision. Or let's say it's a majority decision or a split decision, but you dominate the back half of the fight, right? Bud won most of his rounds in the front half, and we watched you run off like 6 rounds in a row to end the fight. The last thing we seen was you kicking ass, right? Let's say Jaron does this. There's no B-side of the negotiation for him going forward if he doesn't lose. He gets the lion's share of the money against Fondora. He gets the lion's share of the money against Virgil Ortiz. Who else is there? Who else is there at 54? Right? He just beat Xander. So I mean, and then listen, if he fought Devin going straight away after that, let's say he beats Bud and then Devin like, I'm coming up, I want boots. If he fights Devin right after the Bud fight, I don't know who the A side is. I don't know whose name they put first on the promotion. If Boots beats Terence Crawford convincingly and Devin moves up to fight Boots, does that promotion look like Jaron Boots Ennis versus Devin Haney? Or is it Haney versus Ennis? I'm going to say Haney versus Ennis because I think right now Devin Haney is currently the face of boxing currently. So I'm going to say Boots, I'm going to say Haney versus Ennis. But I could see it being the other way around. And the fact that it will become a conversation after beating a Bud Crawford, hypothetically speaking, is why I think he has confidence issues. Because taking a Bud Crawford fight is literally 99% pros, 1% cons. You understand what I'm saying? For Jaron Boots Ennis to say the magic words, he got specific instructions. He got, you know how they say, you know how you say the certain words and then the genie come out the bottle? You got to say these words and the genie come out? Or on Aladdin, you had to say the Ali Ali Oxenfree, or you had to say the, you know, whatever the password is or the magic word, and then everything open up for you. Say the magic words. If you don't have confidence issues, I would say the magic words. It's 99% pros, 1% con. The worst thing that can happen for Boots is if he gets sparked. If he go in there and fight hard, represent himself well, and get edged out by Terence Crawford, his stock ain't going down. His stock not going down. All he got to do is bounce back off that. Let's say he lose split decision to Bud. He got a big-ass payday. He just had a close-ass fight with Bud. That's how we going to see it. And if it's a split decision, you know all of the East Coast going to be screaming robbery.
Classic.
I'm just playing this out. I'm just playing this out in my mind. If it's a split decision with Bud and it go Bud way, the whole East Coast going to scream robbery anyway, right? And if they scream robbery loud enough, you mess around, get 2 Bud paydays. That's what I'm saying. It's 99% chance of pros, 1% chance of con. The worst thing Boots could do is go in there against Bud and just get sparked out. One hitter quitter. It don't matter what round. He get clipped with some shit and just go out. Pacquiao Marquez number 22 type shit. If that happened, that's the worst case scenario. But you go in there, represent yourself well, have a close ass tight fight to where it's halfway debatable and shit like that, man. Going into the Fondero fight to the A side, going into the Virgil fight to the A side. This is just what, unless those two fight each other in the meantime, I don't see nobody being the A side over Boots. After that, just taking the fight and representing themselves well, win or lose. And then your floor of your minimum money goes up. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't say the magic words, chat. And that's what I'm saying. Actions lead me to believe they have confidence issues. Not what they say. Look at what he's doing. You had an opportunity to be great and fight Devin Haney at 147. You was already in the process of moving up, but at that point, you had not campaigned at 54 yet. Devin Haney isn't a big enough name or a big enough fight to stay at 47 for just one more? Or was that weight cut it was just getting that bad? And if that's the case, I understand. Spin the block and do it later. I get it. So we ain't even calling that a duck or nothing. We accept his reasoning for not taking the Devin Haney fight at 147. We also accept Devin's reasoning for not wanting to go up to 52, having had not fought at 47 yet. So we get that. They can spin the block on each other. Cool. But Boots' best move would be to say the magic words and fight Bud Crawford. Bud, on the other hand, the best fight for him to return for from a business standpoint, because he's already a legend, he's already going to be a Hall of Famer. We already consider him the best in the world. But from a business standpoint, Bud Crawford's best return fight is Manny Pacquiao.
Classic.
From a business standpoint, Bud Crawford's best return fight is Manny Pacquiao. But the type of competitor Bud is, and if Boots specifically says the magic words, then that means Bud would be coming out of retirement specifically for this particular man who has defiled his name. Somebody said absolutely not. Bud would make more money fighting Manny Pacquiao than he would fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. Chinaman. Bud Crawford would make more money on a contract fighting Manny Pacquiao than he would fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. Anybody in here think that I'm wrong about that? Chinaman said it's a pointless fight. I'm talking about business. Notice what I said. the best business fight for Bud to come back for. I'm going to get my 38-year-old body in shape, go through the rigors of training camp. The biggest available check for him to come back to is probably a Manny Pacquiao check. That Boots check ain't going to be as big as that Manny Pacquiao check, chat. Are y'all serious? Are y'all serious? Y'all know how much money Manny Pacquiao and Floyd made together? I don't think y'all get it. And Too Deep said, "Nah, Floyd." Bud and Floyd, I don't think because Floyd ain't fought in so long. Manny just fought. Manny just fought not too long ago. And he fought against Mario Barrios, who ain't, super spectacular, but he ain't no just complete and extreme pushover either. Let's see. Bruno says pointless fight. Yeah. He said Bruno said that. Let's see. Terrell said, "I'm not interested in Bud fighting Boots for legacy, but for money, it makes sense. Boots beating the old Bud, if he could, wouldn't prove nothing." I think it does. Because Bud is a preserved 38. Bud is not a banged up 38. Bud hasn't had a shit ton of wars. He's never been knocked out. He's never been stopped. He's slept over 80% of all of his opponents on his record. I believe Bud has over an 80% knockout ratio in totality. Bud he's not a banged up 38. I would give Boots all his credit for beating Bud. I'm gonna be honest. And he ain't been retired that long. He really, honestly, Bud been retired as long as niggas waiting between they fights these days, to be honest with you. So, I mean, the fact that he probably been out the gym a little bit more than what he normally would if he was active, that's a different story. But I mean, this is the great Bud Crawford, right? It's like riding a bike. Get back in there and work and put the work in. But I get it though. China said, yes, he would make more money, but who's asking for that fight? I'm not asking for the fight. I'm just saying, from a business standpoint, Bud's biggest payday to come back for is Manny Pacquiao. His second biggest payday would probably be against Boots, right? I don't think anybody wants to see Terence and Floyd just because of Floyd's inactivity. I wouldn't even take the fight serious. Manny has had a training camp within the last year and a half. Drew Harris said, "Nah, he can fight someone better." No, he can't. I'm not talking about the matchup. I'm talking about the business, y'all. Canelo, I don't know how much he makes it. Yeah, just because of his leverage. Because of his leverage, he could get a serious bag if he run it back with Canelo. He could get a serious bag. Bruno said that's irrelevant to boxing game right now. Why would he fight Pac and he's past his prime? Money. I'm talking about money. Let's see. Terrell said, "Don't understand people hyping Bud fighting Boots as cementing his legacy if he wins. If he loses, do people say Bud is overrated? No." Yeah, true, but at the age you lose stamina as an athlete. PBU said, "I can understand the logic with the Pac-Man fight." Yeah, just business. Terrell said, damn near it's gonna rake in money like an exhibition. You know what I'm saying? But they wouldn't call it an exhibition. Terrell said, Bud has the skills, or Bud has the skills, but at that age, you lose stamina and reflexes gradually decline. And Too Deep said, "That's why I would pay to see Floyd versus Bud, and Floyd still in the gym too." Yeah, but it's different. He ain't really getting nobody going upside Floyd's head. You know what I mean? Floyd will probably get a little rattled right now. He take a punch. When the last time Floyd took a flush punch? Bruno said, "Bud ain't got nothing to prove in the sport anymore. He's done it all. Just give him his flowers and let him retire." No, well, listen, we're talking about something that Bud Crawford said out of his own mouth. So we could take that off the table. Bud Crawford said out of his own mouth, "If you want to fight me, tell Boots to say this." And he gave him a script. Should Boots get in front of anybody's camera and read that script? I think he should.
Classic.
If Bud didn't give the man instructions to summon him, then we wouldn't be talking about this. Genuinely. I would not bring up this fantasy fight or this fairy tale hypothetical if Bud didn't make it real. Bud, I believe, is a man of his word. Bud, I believe, is psycho-competitive. And when he said, "Tell Boots to say these words," he said it with some umph in his voice. He said that shit with his chest, chat.
I'm only gonna do this once.
So what I'm telling y'all is, if Bud feel like it could go down and Boots keep saying shit is easy work or whatever he feel like, then shit, I want to see it. Why wouldn't I want to see it?
Classic.
Y'all don't want to see the fight? I want to see the fight. No matter who wins. I think Bud got plenty of gas in the tank for one more. I think Bud for the right contract, I think Bud Crawford has preserved his body well enough that for the right contract, he probably could take a 3-fight deal. I really think that. So getting ready for one more, getting right for one more, I think Bud got that, chat. I think Bud got that. I think he's capable of getting ready for one more. I don't think Bud's one of them guys going to get in the ring against Boots and we see him age overnight. I don't think that. Elite Chronicle said Bud will destroy Boots. But would you want to see it? I want to see it. I think Boots should say something. Bruno said Boots is not defensively sound enough to fight Terence Crawford. He overthrows his punches. That's why he got rocked in the third round against Xander. China said, it's been 11 months since Crawford's last fight. Why do people keep saying the man is old? I think it would take at least 100 million plus for Canelo or Boots to really drop their nuts and man up. You talking about as far as running it back between the two of them, or you just talking about in general? Because Canelo finna fight. Canelo's still active. But yeah, man, I think that Boots should say the magic words. I think the promoter should find the money, and I think the fight should take place while it still can, while it still makes sense. Like y'all said, Bud coming off of an 11-month layoff, that ain't shit but about the time between fights for these fighters nowadays. These guys, a lot of these guys fight just once a year, some of them twice at max. So if we can get that going, I'd be pleased to see it. And I think that it would do more good than harm for Boots' career, because Boots is the younger guy and has years in front of him. For Bud, I think it doesn't even matter how it goes. He just gets a paycheck. He gonna get a crazy paycheck. Now, if he win, it's like, see, I told y'all. And if he lose, it's like, all right, well, nigga, you caught me at 38. You feel me? Like he can say he can say that. He can give himself the excuse. Me, I'm gonna give Boots his credit. I'm not gonna bring up the 38. Just like I'm telling y'all, I think he's preserved. I'm not gonna spin the block if he go lose and be like, man, he was 38. Like, no, I think he's preserved enough to get himself all the way together to see through the result that it would have always been, no matter what that is. Jordan says Canelo getting slept. If he run it back with Bud, that's word. Yeah, I think Bud got him figured out. And on top of that, whatever, myth he had in his head about Canelo's power, the mystery of that is completely gone. So I think Bud goes into that fight feeling a little different. Chinaman said yes for 100 for Canelo and Boots to man up. Dude fight like once a year. Yeah. So all in all, man, what do y'all think, man? What's the final verdict on this? I just need y'all to drop a yes or no. Should Boots say the magic words to get Bud Crawford to come out of retirement? Should he follow the instructions of Bud and read that script off that's going to get Bud Crawford out of retirement? Should he say the magic words? I just want a yes or no from everybody that's typing in the chat. Let me see. Donathan said Bud has averaged 1 year layoff for the last 3 to 4 fights. See what I'm saying? So it's just regular layoff period. It ain't no big deal. Let's see. Jordan said, nah. Donathan said, Boots scared. I'm not going to call him scared, but I will say slightly reluctant. Because if I know it's a big bag on the other side of me saying one simple sentence, Bud Crawford come out of retirement, I will knock him out. You say that sentence, Bud say he coming back. How many millions is that sentence worth to you? Now, I ain't never said a 10, 20, $15 million single sentence. But when given an opportunity, even if it come attached with an ass whooping, I'm inclined to say that sentence. You know what I'm saying? As long as I get a chance to fight back, I'm inclined to say that sentence. Let's see. Bruno said, yeah, Boots scared. Let's see. Amanda said, sure. Why not? I don't know anything about boxing, just supporting. Of course, I appreciate you, Amanda. I'm coming back with some other content in a little bit. Hit the like button. Everybody, please hit the like and subscribe. Bruno said, nope. He don't think he should do it. So y'all saying, no, y'all don't want to see the fight. That's crazy. That's crazy. What type of boxing fans are we, man? We don't want to see the fights? We don't want to see it, huh? In Too Deep said, I don't think it's that big of a bag. I think it is. Boots' name is up right now. It's up right now, especially after beating Xander, and Xander got a whole country behind them, even though they try to say it's part of the United States. I've been to Puerto Rico multiple times, and I consider it its own country. That's just me, though. I've been. But, yeah. Jonathan said, I would love to see it. Here we go, a real boxing fan. You actually want to see the fight, no matter how it go. I like that. But, yeah, man, y'all catch us on the rewatch. Let me know what y'all think about it. Should Boots say the magic words to Bud? I'm voting yes. All pros, no cons. Go get that money. Go be great, young king. Go be great. Man, it's the classic codes. Let's move. But, yeah, that's it, chat. I just want to tap in on those two, just the co-main event and the main event subject. I will be back with another live stream tomorrow. I'm grateful to see that my camera is back clear. I have been blurry streaming for 2 days. We had some heavy tornadoes out here. We are all blessed to still be safe. But yes, I'm glad to have clarity back in my life on the camera, man. So I look forward to doing my other streams today as well. Too Tight said, I've been wanting to see it, but that will be a nice, entertaining fight, knowing Bud will win. Jordan said later, Cuzzy, for sure. In Too Deep said, this is not a big money, but I would watch it. I think it'll generate more money than you think, Deep. Major P said, classic audio, bros, Brody. What up, Major? How I say your name? Kabira? I believe it's Kabira. I don't want Bud to go against his word. Hey, listen, Bud said if Boots say these words, I'll come out of retirement. Now, if Boots say them words and Bud don't jump off the porch, that'll be him going against his word. Major P said, what up, bro? You know, cool. Said, play some music. I got a few joints for y'all. Before I get off. Let's see. Bruno said, Boots is just a flash fighter and nothing more. Oh, shit. Damn, Bruno. That's why he does not have any names on his resume. I ain't finna say all that, but you entitled to your opinion. That's kind of heavy. Major said, Mason versus Keyshawn. I want to see that. They too far apart in weight right now. Keyshawn moved up to 147 and Mason still at 135. It's going to be a couple years for that one. You could chill waiting on that one. Jonathan said, Boots know how Bud did Canelo. BTA. Yep. Kabir. Okay. Appreciate it. Major P said copy. Yep. But yeah, man, another installment of Classic Code Sports, man. If y'all have not already, if you are watching this from the Classic Codes, please take the time to slide over to Classic Code Sports. It is scrolling across the screen. Slide over to Classic Codes Sports, not just Classic Code Sports, and hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 1K. We just crossed over the 200 subscriber mark, so we got 800 more to go, right? We hit 200. We got to do that 4 more times, and we will be right there at the 1,000 subscriber mark. So share this to people who you think like boxing content. I will be turning up a bit for football season, and I will be turning up on track and field as well. So share the page around. Y'all can also catch me working out on here. I will be also dropping vlogs and more health and wellness content as well for the sports page. Just making sure that our athletes stay athletes. I believe in that. Once an athlete, always an athlete. So that's real big for me. So I'll be making sure to keep y'all motivated and inspired and be a part of the change I want to see for sure. But if y'all don't do nothing else for me, oh, shoot, I ain't finna end the show. I said I was going to play some music. Look, I was finna say the last line, chat. Let's get into some music, and then we're going to wrap up. Let me see. Somebody asked for some of the newer stuff we've been playing. Well, it's not new to me, but some stuff I hadn't been playing. Let's go Apocalypse.
Are you making another beat, Daddy? And the genius is my dad.
Classical trap.
Yeah. Still need a new mansion on Floyd Block. Apocalypse got me whole stocked. More toys than the toy cops. Weak rappers getting boycott. Longest class got a voice box. Gorgeous women give me voice box. Toss flows like stir fry. Got the teriyaki and the soy sauce. Should've been. You would've, should've, gonna make you a could've been. Don't end up on the outside looking in. Talking about if you would've tried what it would've been. Can't find inspiration, better look again. Don't miss the point, better put a pin. You gotta lock in when you locked in. Been quarantine grinding like it's no options. Xanax created zombies. Tryna operate off of downers. You focus on survival. I'm locked in a room trying to focus on my album. No handshakes. From now on we bowing. I'm about to take a trip to the mountains. It's not for discussion, you people disgusting. They stop basketball, I'm bouncing. They stop baseball, I'm sliding. You only safe if you ain't out here vibing. Don't touch on my body, don't breathe on my body. Don't speak too close, so it's a problem. Everybody on edge. Heard that coughing lead to the coffin. You don't got no symptoms, you thinking it's sweet. Beating gay Rona to the office. Germs. Back up. Germs. Apocalypse. Germs. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Germs. Don't touch me. Germs. Apocalypse. Germs. Back up. Don't touch on my body. 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 Back up. Don't touch on my body. Don't touch on my body. Don't touch on my body. Back up. Don't touch on my body. Don't touch on my body. Don't touch on my body. Don't touch me. It's ugly. Treating everybody like they must do. Stretch the meals like we struggling. We come from under, we accustomed. We been buying it in bulk. It was Sam's Club before Costco. We been staying in the house. Knew to sit still when it was hostile. You ain't got no beef, you ain't got no problems. Know how to move when someone tryna rob you. Can't always dodge it. My first art was Marshall. What you gon' do when someone tryna harm you? Can't afford to move, so your parents had to arm you. Couldn't be a punk or your parents couldn't spoil you. I know it sounds silly, but I'm sorry. I'm not coming off of my Jordans. Apocalypse got y'all hoarding. Panicking, opening stories. To the people from the hood, this normal. To the people from the hood, this normal. Whoa, how it feel on the same level, huh? Everybody out here humble. Yeah, everybody locked in the jungle. Everybody locked in the jungle. Germs. 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 Apocalypse. Germs. Classic.
Are you making another beat?
State of emergency.
And the genius is my dad.
Locked down.
Yeah, fulfilling my destiny. Y'all ain't impressing me. Classic. I'm the whole outfit and the accessories. You better step carefully if you gon' step to me. You will end up dog food if you ain't my pedigree. Retire my parents and set up my brother that weigh on me heavily. Prove it to me and prove it to the ones that told me it never be. Pipe dream, that's what they was telling me. Now they got Visine, they see it with clarity. They see me get better every single record with great regularity. They call me to book me for being myself. The set when no sweat to me. Fox, see me on TV, I must be hot. See me open, better pass me the rock. Put in work with everything that I am and manifest everything that I'm not. I'm the author, I can switch up the plot. Good karma, why I get what I got. Bad karma, why you get what you got. You stay in park cause you been through a lot. I skip walking, went straight to a trot. Skip talking, went straight to let's box. New mission, turn a cruise to a yacht. Rolexes to my neighborhood watch. Underdog, I don't favor the odds. Big profit, you bet on me hard. Thick pockets, I bet on my bars. Panoramic roof, I been with the stars. In high school, I had a screen in my car. About to be 13 car garage. The mansion come with a putting green. That's God telling me I've been up to par. I'm a lion, had some people lying. Used to envy me, I had the symbol, the scar. Used to catch a bag, doing a hole in the walls. Headlining, I assembled the squad. My OG came to show me love, had to leave early. It wasn't safe for my mom. Every artist that opened up had bars about how they play with the drums. I ripped it down in a place full of guns. Come from a place where unsafe is the norm. I'm black in America, unsafe to be born. Quarantine, better not touch on my body and wash your hands, or we gon' play with them arms. I'm coming with two, I'ma leave with the one. 80s baby, I don't lace up the ones.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Classic.
All right, y'all. I'm finna be right back. I got a couple more streams to do today, so I'm locked in with y'all for most of the evening. But yeah, man, if y'all don't do nothing else for me, make sure you subscribe to Classic Code Sports, and above all else, stick to the codes. We got another classic. Yeah.
Why you ain't say nothing? I'm only gonna do this once. You always knew I'd make it in the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? You believed in me the whole time, for real? Yeah. I couldn't tell. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? But watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't call? Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Put that on my soul. They ain't hungry no more when it's time to eat crow. Or farming, I'm enhancing my glow. Ain't gon' argue with you about what I know. Photo album, all I'm seeing is ghosts. Had to remodel from pillar to post. Said what I said, I ain't come here to argue. You said congratulations, should've said sorry. Doubt it, now you won't be part of the party. Your access denied, I'm sorry, not sorry. When I needed air, niggas wouldn't afford it. Now they pulling up and thinking we solid. Now I'm on the phone talking $1 million topics. Up early, Zoom call out to Abu Dhabi. Don't answer my phone if it's gon' be about gossip. I don't really care, everybody got problems. That's why I be sharing my woes, letting y'all know it's okay, you can come up from the bottom. Scraping, scratching, clawing. Before I start running, I started with crawling. Before I got balance, I started with falling. Started with broke before I ever was balling. Started with hope before ever reward. They ain't show up till I became important. You was around me from the beginning. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Seen them hard times couldn't kill me. Why you ain't say nothing? Why you ain't say nothing? Stages I'm on getting bigger. Now you wanna say something? Been watching my story all winter. Why you ain't say